What challenges do you have in staying consistent? If you're tired of the old cookie-cutter marketing advice and want to take your personal brand to the next level with bold, actionable strategies that truly reflect you, you're in the right place. Let's untangle your marketing mayhem with Zoe, the video confidence coach, on the Unboring Your Brand podcast. Unboring Your Brand was recorded on Wadawurrung land. This is a question that I had from a larger discussion I had with Mark. Thank you so much for your questions. Revolving around, so what role does consistency play in building a personal brand, and how can I maintain it across different platforms? They are currently moving from, because everyone has a personal brand at the end of the day. Hi, in case you didn't know that. And Mark was interested to know, now that they're actively working on their personal brand because it's going to help them get better opportunities in their career, but they also wanted to figure out the consistency side of things, because that's an issue that they have, not just with their immunocompromised health issues, but also just staying consistent in general. So I wanted to answer the question, what challenges do you face in staying consistent? And if any of these resonate with you, feel free to comment below and let me know. Because don't worry, all of these that I bring up today, you are definitely going to feel in some capacity. But in staying consistent, this nebulous idea, it can be very hard when it comes to marketing your brand, be it for a small business or a personal brand, especially when creating content is another thing to do in the to-do list. It can be very hard. Between running your life, running a business, answering emails, remembering to eat lunch, and posting regularly just feels like one more thing on an overloaded to-do list that, why do I even need to do this, Zoe? That is a very fair question. But consistency in the way that you speak to the public, in the way that you speak to your potential audience, and the way that you speak to your current audience is everything when it comes to building your personal brand. Because how do you stay, and I want to ask you this, if you needed to stay top of mind, to build trust, and to actually get people to remember who you are and what problems you solve for them, how do you go about doing that if you're not staying consistent? If you're not regularly answering people's questions? If you're not putting yourself out there? How will you be remembered? Now, you could take the approach and do something so stupidly dumb or so stupidly smart that you become viral. But that virality is going to last a couple of days, maybe even a day if you're lucky, and then you'll be old news. You'll be out of the cycle of interest and virality. And that is a lot of ifs, ands, or buts, but a lot of energy being put into something that may or may not happen for you and your brand. So when it comes to building up the trust, being top of mind, and getting people to remember you, you need to stay consistent in whichever avenue you're trying to be remembered in. The problem is, life happens. Your motivation dips over time, and suddenly it's been 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, since your last post, since your last email, since your last video, since your last website update. And these are the challenges that I'm going to break down for you and how to go about fixing them. The first challenge that you may come across is, and this is one that I get a lot, I do not have enough time. Zoe, I do not have enough time for this. But the reality is, you do have time. You just don't have a system. You don't have a process to A, make it easier so your time is more well spent. But also, you haven't made a priority for yourself to do this thing. To be consistent, to help your brand grow, you have not made that a priority for yourself. You haven't developed a system, you haven't developed processes, you haven't developed a template to make this process easier for you. Because if there's anything that you are going to do more than once, write it down. If there's something in your business and also in your life, if you're going to do it more than once, if you ever think about giving a task to someone else, be it a staff member in your business, a virtual assistant, or maybe just someone else in your life, be it family, friends, or colleagues, in that moment, you need to be able to write it down because you need to tell them what they're doing. And also, you need to be able to tell your future self what you're doing. So, when you don't have time, I'm going to say, do these following things, not just for your marketing, but in life. Batch create content so you're not scrambling daily, or create a series of contents or series of answering questions for easy pieces of content that you can reuse over and over and over again. My usual go-to amount is about 12 to 15. Now that may seem a lot, don't worry, don't panic. This is a quick answer video. But what you can do that is that once you get to the end of that 12 to 15 pieces of content, you can start again. You can reuse that content again. And I've had many clients, even now, who are using content that I created for them 4 or 5 years ago, and it's still in rotation. Why? Because it's easy, and they have enough time to be able to schedule that content in. They set aside 1 day a month where they can plan and schedule their posts. Yes, maybe a full day is out of the question for you because you don't have time. But you do have an hour, especially as something as crucial as marketing your brand. You do have time. You can repurpose, as I mentioned before, you can repurpose old content, and let's be honest, no one remembers a Instagram post from 6 months ago. You can tweak it a little bit in the description, in the post, in the edit, whatever you feel would make you feel better, but not everyone is going to see everything that you post. So, let's take a step back, and when you come up with the objection, I should say, about I don't have enough time for this, Zoe, let's start by making 1 solid week worth of posts. This can be 1, this can be 2, this could be 3. Quality is better than quantity. And in those moments, even if you do it for 1 week, you will still have a couple of posts that you can use again. And you're no longer out of time, are you? Because you've already done it. Well done. So the next challenge, which you may run into if you start putting aside your fears or worries about not having enough time, your next one usually is, I've run out of ideas. I haven't even started yet, Zoe, and I've run out of ideas. Or maybe you've been going at this for a couple of weeks and now you're starting to run out of ideas. The reality is, the ideas themselves are not the issue. It's capturing them before they disappear. Because the mind, especially your mind, is very good at generating ideas. It's coming up with creative, problem-solving ways to fix the issues that they are experiencing in their life, in their problem, in their brand. And especially with the people that you want to work with, you are constantly thinking about how you can better help serve them, how you can better help them. And in that moment, we need to write those ideas down. Your brain is not very good at storing things. Your brain is very good at coming up with ideas. So the way that you fix that is by having a running list of content ideas, either in your phone, in a notebook, like a physical notebook, or a online wiki like a Notion or a Evernote. Turn those ideas into FAQs, so frequently asked questions, from clients into posts. If one person is asking a question of you, 5 people want to know the answer to, they're just wondering. And if you make it easier to then answer those questions, awesome, they don't need to ask the question and they get another objection taken down, and they're more likely to say yes to whatever your next offer is because they've had their questions answered. And also, if you're repurposing content that you've already created, so one example is I worked with a company who spent 25 grand on creating all of these videos. They put the videos in the corner of their website and did nothing with them. We turned those videos into blog posts, into other videos, into LinkedIn posts, and so on and so forth. We used content that they already put the money, the energy, and the time in. And they've got plenty of ideas from that content. They can just use it again. And that's the same thing for you too. If you put the time and effort to create that content once, you can use it again, or you can change it around and then use it again. Always look at your top performing posts or your most engaged with post and giving them a fresh spin, because if people love them once, they'll love it again. The next thing that I usually come across with a lot with my clients who are specifically women. Now, of course, this isn't for everyone, but I'm going to tell you now that this happens a lot more with my women than my non-binary clients, is you overthink every post. Perfectionism is procrastination in disguise. That's what's happening. You overthink everything that you want to post or you're trying to post because you're worried about the backlash. You're worried about what other people will say. You're worried about how it will make you look. Will it make you look unprofessional? Or will it mean that you'll lose clients? I'm going to tell you now that there's a higher chance of you losing clients from not doing anything than from doing something. Why? Because if people don't think you're of top of mind, they're going to forget who you are. So the way that you fix this is thinking or resetting your mind of done is better than perfect. Posting it and moving on. Answering any questions that people have for you, awesome. But then moving on to the next thing. A recommendation I give to a lot of clients is setting yourself a time limit for content creation. So don't give yourself weeks to get something done. You have an hour to come up with the idea, script it, film it, edit it, post it. That is your hour. Any more than that? No. So I want you to give yourself a little bit of that limitation for yourself. No more tweaking. Give yourself a chance to get it done, and you've got an hour to do it. And also, one thing that I always give my clients and remind myself clients of is most people scroll past content in seconds. They're not analyzing every single word choice that you make in your messages. So if a post flops, it's not a failure, it's data. So learn it, tweak it, edit it, and give it another go. Maybe it was just the algorithm that day, or maybe it was just the clients not feeling up to it that day. Whatever it is, it's okay. You can always do it again. And the last challenge that a lot of my clients face when talking about not just what they can do to stay consistent, but also ways that they avert themselves from doing any marketing at all, is the algorithm hates me. I've tried a couple of times and my posts haven't gone viral, they haven't gone gangbusters, so the algorithm in turn hates me. And the algorithm is the big robot that decides what people see. And the reality is that this algorithm, this robot in the cloud, rewards consistency, not just viral moments. It rewards people posting and consistently helping and serving people over a long period of time. 1 or 2 posts does not make a social media marketing plan. So to fix that and to make it easier on yourself, try start by posting at a steady pace. What is easier and what is better for you than not posting at all is posting 3 times a week, or maybe even 2 times a week. It's better than posting 10 times and then nothing at all. What is easy enough for you? Can you reuse older posts? Again, I've mentioned that multiple times in this video. Can you reuse older posts? Can you engage with comments or messages? Not just post and peace out. People want to engage with you, especially if you have something to say. And that is why you're building your brand, hopefully, because you have something to say and you want to help and serve people. So in turn, making sure that you engage with any comments or messages that you get, and making sure that you share those comments and messages. Again, more ideas for content. Whoa, there you go. And making sure that you experiment and adapt. The algorithm is always changing, for better or for worse, and that's normal. So in those moments, for you to be able to think about not chasing trends, but being consistent and going against yourself. You're not trying to become viral, because arguably virality is not the thing it's not all that is cracked up to be. I'm going to tell you that now. being consistent, being there, and being able to answer people's questions with a simple video, oh, you'll have no idea what that feeling is until you felt it. I'm going to tell you that now. So I want to finish up today's video with showing up even if it's not perfect. The secret to personal brand building is being there regularly. Not just when you feel inspired or when business is slow, telling you that now. It's having something that builds consistency, credibility, and in turn, that credibility building trust. So I'm going to ask you now in the comments to let me know what your biggest challenge with consistency is. And what's one thing this week that you can do to fix it? Can you reuse some older content? Can you start that ball rolling again so that you are there for your audience? Because people don't care if they saw you 6 months ago. People care if they see you now. And I look forward to seeing you online. Thank you for listening or watching Unboring Your Brand. You can find detailed show notes with tools, offers, and episode transcriptions. Just click the first link in the description or go to vcc.training/podcast. Get involved and ask me anything about personal branding, video strategy, or just a friendly small business chat via my email, g'day@vcc.training. That is gday@vcc.training. The Video Confidence Coach would like to acknowledge and pay my respects to the Wadawurrung people of the Kulin Nation, the traditional custodians of the land on which I record my podcast. I pay my respects to their elders past and present. I stand with the traditional custodians of these lands in working towards a more equal future. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Look forward to me chatting at you next week, superstars.